Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Melissa and I'm a nursing student. So I'm going to get right into the topic of today's video, which you can tell by the title, and it is how to work full-time while attending nursing school full-time. So I have mentioned in most, if not all of my previous videos, that I do attend a traditional, or really it's an accelerated BSN program that's full-time. And then on top of that, I do work full-time. So I work 40 hours a week, Monday through Friday, and I'm going to talk about how I'm able to accomplish that and kind of what you should think about or factor in if that is something that you want to do, or you want to join a nursing program, but you have to work full-time or part-time and you're just not sure how to accomplish that. It's definitely possible, and I'm going to talk about that today. So I do want to make a really quick disclaimer just to say that this video is not to knock anybody who is going to nursing school and is not working or not working full-time, or just anybody who is going to school or wants to go to school and you don't need to work. It's definitely a blessing and a privilege to not have to work while you're in school. And my personal belief is that if you have the option, it's definitely better to just focus on school. But realistically, that is not an option for everybody. So I just wanted to make this video to let you know that it is definitely possible. I do it, and I have a lot of classmates that are working in some capacity, many of them working part-time while doing my program. And then I have other classmates that are working full-time while doing my program. And then on top of that, they also have children or sick family members that they have to take care of. And they are successfully doing the nursing program. So it is definitely possible, but there are certain things that you need to think about and consider before you decide if it's something that you are able to do. So the very first thing that you need to do before you decide if you are able to do a nursing program while working full-time or working at all really is to determine which one is more flexible. Is it nursing school is more flexible, or is it your job is more flexible? So if you are working full-time and you are not able to adjust your hours, I know that some jobs, especially if you're working at a 24/7 facility, like a medical facility, you may be able to talk to your boss or your scheduler and get a different shift or change shifts around. If you are not able to do that and your job is not flexible, if you're not able to leave your job and find another job that's more flexible, then you need to find a school that fits around your hours. So I was at a different job when I started my nursing program, and that job was like a typical 40 hours a week, like Monday through Friday, like 8 to 5-ish type of job. And I knew that that was the schedule that I wanted to keep. So even though I did change jobs and I'm now at a new job, I still pretty much have that same schedule. And for me, I did not want to find a new job or find a schedule where I'd have to work holidays, weekends, evenings, or anything. So for me, my job was less flexible than school. So when I was looking at a school, I looked for a school that fit around my work schedule. I was just blessed that I have a Chamberlain University campus near me. And it just so happens that the one that I attend has an evening and weekend program. So I was able to keep my schedule of working full-time Monday through Friday, and then I attend school in the evenings and on the weekends. If you have found a nursing school that you want to attend and they don't have an evening and weekend program, or if you are already in nursing school and you're looking to find a job, of course, for you, nursing school is not flexible and you will need to find a job that can fit around nursing school. But the very first step in determining whether or not you're even able to work while in school is to determine which one is flexible and then build your schedule kind of around that. The second thing that you need to consider and be very realistic about is your time management skills. So you need to be realistic about how reliable you are, how great you are with kind of being on top of assignments and things like that. If you are somebody who has never had to juggle going to school and going to work, or you've just never in your life had to juggle multiple priority responsibilities at once, then I would personally advise not working while in school if you don't have to. I think that something that would be really great if you have the opportunity to do it is to maybe start your first semester or just take care of your first year of nursing school. And if you find that it's manageable, then you can pick up a part-time job, or you can switch to full-time if you already have a part-time job. But if you are used to juggling multiple responsibilities at once, if you're used to working full-time or working part-time while going to school, if you know that you can handle that, then I would say just go ahead and jump right in. My advisor, and a lot of people really, advised me not to work full-time while going to nursing school full-time, because nursing school is a really big time commitment. You know, you have very heavy course loads with nursing school, of course, but even though I would hear that advice, in the back of my mind, I knew that I would be able to manage it all. And so far, I'm about a third of the way done with my program. I'm coming up on my first year out of 3, like completing my first year out of 3 years. And so far, I have not had difficulty juggling having a full-time job and going to school full-time. So it really just depends on you kind of being realistic with yourself, knowing what you can handle. So the next thing is to make sure that you prioritize. And this one might sound obvious, but if you are working full-time and you're in nursing school full-time, you really need to decide which one is more of a priority for you. So before you start nursing school, everybody will tell you nursing school is very demanding, which it is. People will say that in order to be successful in nursing school has to be like your top priority, like everything else comes second. Family, friends, social life, sleep, literally everything comes after nursing school. Nursing school should be your main priority. While that is good in theory, unfortunately the truth is that that is not possible for many people. You know, it is important that nursing school is one of your main priorities, but realistically, if you have a mortgage or rent that you have to pay so that you are not, you know, sleeping on the street, if you have children that you have to take care of, if you have other obligations, chances are that realistically, you getting a paycheck is going to be more of a priority than nursing school. So my advice is, before you start doing both, so if you were working full-time before you join a nursing program, or vice versa, if you're in a nursing program before you go pick up a full-time job, you need to make a decision which one is going to be your main priority. So if you end up deciding that work is your main priority and getting a paycheck is more of a priority than nursing school, in my opinion, that's totally fine, but you kind of need to sit down and mentally prepare yourself. If you have a situation where you maybe have to go to campus at the last minute, or you have to do a study group, or you have to do something with school, and at the same time you have to go in for a shift at work, or you have a work obligation, you should know before that situation even pops up which obligation you're going to follow through with. So you need to know ahead of time, are you going to go to work or are you going to go to school? So if you decide that your job is more important or more of a priority than nursing school, then you need to make tough decisions before they arise. So if you have to come in for an extra shift at work, and at the same time you have to go to like an emergency lab, or you have a study group, or you just have a school obligation, you should not be deciding in that moment when the tough situation arises. That's not when you should be deciding what to do. You should already go into it knowing if you have a conflict of work and school, work is what you're going to go with. And at the same time, you need to be prepared for whatever that consequence may be with school. And the same goes if you decide that school is more of a priority for you than work. If two things pop up with school and work at the same time, you need to make that decision ahead of time that no matter what happens, you're not missing a class, you're not missing a lab, you're not missing an exam, and you kind of need to prepare yourself for what that would mean, like what consequence that would bring you at work. If that means that you could get on probation, if that means that you can get fired, then maybe you need to try to set money aside so that if that happens, you have a little bit of a cushion to find another job. Because I am good at time management, and because I was fortunate enough to find a program that is, you know, evenings and weekends, so I won't really have any overlap, or at least I shouldn't have any overlap between work and school because they're two totally different schedules. But in the event that I do, I have already decided which one is my priority, and I'm not going to say that in this video, but just know that I do have one that's more of a priority than another in my mind, even though they're both very important. So if I do ever happen to have a conflict between the two, I already know which one I'm going to choose. And the last advice that I would give you is to, of course, understand that other areas of your life are going to suffer just by default. Going to school full-time in a nursing program is already hard enough, and everybody will tell you that You won't have time to do a lot of things. I personally don't think that that's true if you're good at time management. I think that if you are good at time management and you're really good at prioritizing your assignments and just being on top of your assignments, I think that if you're doing just nursing school full time, you will have time for sleep and socialization and other things. And everybody has a different opinion. That's just my opinion. However, if you are going to school full time and you're working full time, that is where it kind of takes out that wiggle room that you would have had for socialization and sleep and all these other things. So you really should go into it knowing that there are probably birthday parties that you're gonna miss. There are definitely trips that you're gonna miss, happy hours that you're gonna miss. You're gonna be so busy that your priorities will really shift, and two of your most important focuses in life will become school and work. There are many days for me where I get up and I work 9 to 10 hours a day, and then I literally have an hour to get to school. I sit in class for like 3.5 hours, and then I have to drive an hour back home. So there are literally days that I have where I leave the house at 6:30 and I don't come back till like 10 o'clock. There are days where I sit and stare at a computer screen for 9 hours a day, and then I maybe have a 30-minute break to get dinner, maybe take a shower really quickly, and then I go right back to my laptop and I'm again staring at the screen for another 5 to 6 hours doing homework and studying. And that's just the reality of it. If you're going to be juggling work and school, there's honestly no easy way to do it. It is definitely possible, like I said. I'm able to do it. I have classmates that are able to do, working full-time and going to school full-time on top of having kids. I don't know how they do it, and honestly, God bless them, but it is possible. You just have to understand that the life that you had before school and before working full-time, it's going to have to be significantly adjusted in order for you to get everything done. So that is it from me. Hopefully this is a very quick video, just kind of talking about how to decide if you want to or if you are able to work full-time while going to school. I really didn't talk too much about doing both of those things while having children, just because that's not my personal experience and I don't want to speak to that. I personally think that having kids while in the program and working full-time is very hard, and God bless anybody that's able to do that. I have a bunch of classmates that are able to do that, but that's just not my experience. So hopefully this video helps you. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you have any questions or if there's any other videos that you would like me to film, please just comment down below, and I will see you all in the next video.